2, go.
All right, hey, it's Dr. Dave. I'm here with Julia. Julia is visiting from Uruguay. You can say hi.
Hi.
She's visiting family, so she was referred here by her grandmother, correct? So a couple weeks, so she's kind enough to allow us to talk about her case, why she's here, go through her x-rays, and allow us to watch her get adjusted. So she originally came here, or a couple weeks ago. You were doing crunches, and she had a sharp pain in her chest. Did you have a pop or just pain?
It was just pain.
So pain. She had a sharp pain right in her chest and her sternum. And it was while she was doing crunches, and she never experienced that before. So that's really the main reason why she was coming in here. But in talking to her, there were some other things that we identified. At some point, she did note that she had some tension or discomfort at the base of your neck, upper back region, that she's been experiencing for a while.
Yeah.
And then occasionally, once in a blue moon, she'll get some headaches that are located here, correct?
Yep.
So those are basically some of the things that we were finding. I did an examination on her. I was finding some other things that she didn't have pain or symptoms with. I was finding things in her feet that needed to be adjusted, her knees, shoulder, and so I was working on those as well. We did some scans on her to look at what's going on with her body functionally. So we'll go through these real quick. These scans were done to look at how her body's performing, what kind of stress or tension are in her muscles, nerve system. So this first one here is looking at stress and tension in the nerves coming out of the spine. The colors indicate how much. So green is mild, blue is moderate, and red would be severe nerve pressure. So when the spine misaligns, it creates tension on the spinal cord and in the nerves. And those nerves go to different organs, like your heart, your lungs, your digestive system. So think of it as a dimmer switch. It's like you're not getting full power, full communication to these areas. So the brain sends messages down the spinal cord, out these nerves to your body. Your body gives messages and feedback back to the brain, and this is how our body works. So we don't want any stress and tension in that system. So she's showing different areas of stress and tension on the nerves. So we want to work on correcting that or clearing that out. This is a normal muscle tension. This is what we want people to look like. It's symmetrical, it's white in color, and has a pear shape to it. And then this is her. This is her stress and tension of her muscles along the spine. And again, all these colors indicating that she has a lot of stress and tension in the muscles along her spine. Green is mild, blue is moderate, red is severe. And then this is imbalance in her muscles. Which side's pulling harder? The left side of her body is pulling much harder than her right side. So there's an asymmetry. There's like a tug of war. The left side is winning over the right side. So there's different areas of stress and tension in her nerve system and muscle system, and this is creating some of the problems or distortions that we're going to see on her x-ray and some of the things that she may feel. Now, she's only 19, so the things you see are, if not corrected, can down the road, decades down the road, create major problems for her. So it's good that she's here to take care of these things so they don't manifest into something more serious later on. So behind me, we have her x-ray, all right? And we're looking at, from this way, as if we're looking at her from behind, as if she's facing the wall, and we're looking at her from her back. Now, a normal spine would be straight. And this, if you could look at her spine, she's not very straight. If you look at her hips down here, her left hip is lower than her right hip, so she's got a pelvic tilt, which is causing her spine to tilt to the left. And it curves back to tilts back to the right, to along her right shoulder blade. Then she really takes off here to the left, and then back to the right and back to the left. So she has different curvatures called scoliosis. But in addition to that, there's a lot of torquing. That's torquing.
Not twerking.
That might have come out weird with the mask. So torquing of the spine, where over here it's rotated this way, and over here it's counter-rotated this way. So it's like this tension built up in this whole system. So the ribs that attach here are wrap around to her sternum. So between the torquing and the tension here and the ribs and the curvatures, they wrap around to the sternum. So when she was doing crunches, at that point, she just stressed her body out beyond what it can handle, and it affected the sternum. So, but it's generating too from the spine. So she's kind of crooked, and we want to work on reducing the stress in the nervous system, the muscles, the tendons, the ligaments, all that stuff. From the side view, normally there's a normal neck curve arcs to the front. I drew kind of like a little line here of where it should be, and her spine is going the opposite direction. So this is creating a lot of stress and tension in the neck between a reverse curve, her spine tilting to the right, her head tilting to the left, her shoulders are uneven, her body's just totally out of alignment. Even in the mid-back, there should be a bigger curve here. This is straighter. And then down here in her lower back, there's still, the curve isn't as pronounced as it should be either. So she doesn't have the normal curves on this view. She's got curves where she shouldn't have them. She doesn't have the right curves where she should have them. So her body just has a lot of stress and tension in it. So think of it as a car. If your alignment is off, it's going to affect the performance of the car. And it's going to affect the performance of her body and her health. So it's good that she's here to correct all these things. So do you have any questions? Do you have any questions?
I do not.
All right. If you have questions, just type them in and we'll answer them.
Okay.
All right, so we'll start to get her adjusted.
Sure.
Okay.
Want to do them separate? Or
No.
Okay.
No, we're just going to transition into this.
Okay.
You ready, Julia?
Of course.
So Julia had her first adjustment actually
Yesterday.
yesterday. She came in last night. We did all this stuff last night. She had her first adjustment last night, and now she's going to follow up and do her adjustment today. So I'm going to have you sit here, Miss Julia. And you're going to face that way. The other thing, there are findings
Go
that
in
I
and
was
out.
finding. Should I turn this light on? There were findings that I was seeing in her that she didn't feel. Like in her right sacroiliac joint pelvic region, there was a lot of swelling along that side. And in her mid-back, there was a little swelling along the right shoulder blade. So this is a heat reading instrument called a nervoscope. We use this to just detect temperature along the spine. If there's abnormal temperature from left to right or right to left, from side to side, this thing is going to pick it up and just kind of clue me in as to where I'm going to be adjusting her. And she's ticklish, so if you jump, it's okay. We won't make fun of you too badly. So there's a lot of activity on the needle here. And so when I'm going down, she's got a lot of pressure in her mid-back. Right there, there's a huge, we call it a break on the instrument. So we're going to mark that. Come back to that. You having fun yet, Julia? She's like, why did I agree to do this?
That's fine.
Why did I bother to do this? So Julia is a film major and studying film, so we're going to ask her to help us create better videos for everybody.
I was gonna ask, like, did you guys want my camera?
Yeah, because we're amateurs, and I have no idea how to do anything tech-wise, so. So she's got a couple strong readings here in her mid-back. Sally's, trying to become a videographer here.
Trying is the key word.
You got it.
So she's got a little pressure in her lower neck region and in her upper. All right. So I'm just gonna look for swelling, feel for swelling, tenderness, Like that feels tender, right? Or ticklish.
Yeah, that too.
So I have a squirm point if I want to. So this is T5. T9. Sorry, I'm really not doing that on purpose.
Sure.
Just feeling for motion. So part of what we call a subluxation, the spine gets stuck, it doesn't move properly. And then you feel swelling, also known as edema or fluid buildup. Then you'll feel muscle tension or spasm. So we want to feel for these things so we know what we're adjusting and why we're adjusting them, and we don't just blindly adjust things for the heck of it. So upper left neck, atlas, T5, T9. I'm gonna bring my arm around you. This is your hug for the day. I'm sorry, my hands are cold.
It's okay.
And she's being a really good sport about it. I mean, she's probably like,
And I'm sure your hands are cold because your hands are always cold.
okay.
Just so we're clear, Dr. Dave would wear a parka in August.
I like to be cozy.
Yes, you do.
We're gonna come here, Julia.
Okay.
You're gonna step up on this platform. Face goes here. Hands go on the hand rest. And the table's gonna slowly go down.
And I'm gonna walk around the table like a crazy person.
And
so
I'm
I
gonna take a
apologize.
quick sip of some fluid. One thing about these masks is after you talk a lot.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm going to be adjusting T5 on Julia. Now she's got a flat spine. So sometimes these are a little more challenging to adjust. I'm actually going to come around this way.
Okay. Oh, and I'll tape from this side. I just wanted to get closer.
So you're just going to feel me lean in, Julia, and push. And the pop noise is air coming out of the spine. It's not bones breaking or cracking. And we're going to do adjust T9 and come around this side. So why I switch sides is because that's how the spine is misaligned, and I want to make sure I adjust it from the right side, the right angle. The nature of what's called specific adjusting as opposed to just trying to crack everything. You know, lean in. Good job, Julia. You're a superstar. I'm just going to adjust her knees, so we'll get on the fibula head because I checked these last night and I know that these are needing to be adjusted. So I just get on the fibula head and I just push this way. Check her feet out. I'm going to adjust this one. It's called a speeder board. You're going to put something under your knee.
Okay.
This little board. You're going to feel me push down, and it's just going to drop like that, okay? Just adjusting this part of your knee. This just sounds loud and obnoxious. If anything I do hurts or feels uncomfortable, let me know. You know, even though you're, you know, don't be afraid just because you're being videoed.
I'll let you know. Don't worry.
Yeah, she doesn't seem like she'd be quiet about that.
So I was trying to get some information about Julie, about what Uruguay is like, because I have no idea. I got to be honest, after you left, I had to look at South American map to see like where it is.
Oh
By Brazil and Argentina.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, I figured
I'm
that
not
out.
smart. Her dad told me last night.
I was like thinking, wow, I should probably know where Uruguay is, and I have no idea.
I have no geographical sense.
Oh, me either.
Now, sometimes, I won't do it now, but what I may do is sometimes I use what's called electric muscle stimulation because of the different muscle patterns here. I would want to fatigue and relax some of these so they stops the tension or spasm. So I might put one here and here for a few minutes and it'll relax these muscles. But that's boring because I just put pads on her and she lays here for a little bit, so we're not going to film that. So I'm going to bring you up, Julia, and then when the table comes up, you're just going to flip over on your back.
Sorry for the moving around, everybody, but
But we're not film majors like some people.
yeah. And I got to move around the room.
We haven't graduated to better film production here.
Yeah, you'll see my occasional fingertip in the video.
So I'm just going to adjust feet. Julie's also a runner. So I want to make sure that her feet are in good shape.
Oh, I love that. It's like one of my most favorite things.
You all right, Julia? Just checking in with you.
Yep.
Just checking knees. I'm gonna kind of stretch her, elongate her a little bit. She's got a nice, long, flexible neck. This is just working out some of the muscles of the front of her neck. It might be uncomfortable. These guys are working overtime, the front of her neck. Kind of like a lot of people's because we're always looking down. Shoulders rounded,
Yeah.
looking down, so these muscles shorten. And they can be responsible for neck pain, headaches, things of that nature. A lot of upper back tension. Sometimes I'll get essential oils, rub them in here for relaxation or relax the muscle or for inflammation. Right now I'm just doing a dry rub, which is uncomfortable, but it kind of gets in the muscle a little bit deeper. Kind of like a myofascial release, kind of.
How's that feel, Julia?
Interesting. Say the least.
Normally I would do it harder to make the person squirm, but I won't do
Oh.
that with Julia.
Thank you.
He just doesn't want to have it on video. Doesn't want any proof.
You doing all right? Especially when I get down here, I feel
Yeah,
the
it
tension
does.
and right on these muscles, tendons. Just trying to bring a curve back into her neck a little bit. She's got a lot of tension on this right side. Feel all that?
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah, that's a lot of right at the base of her skull. She wants to punch me right now, but she's being good.
Because ultimately it hurts, but it feels good.
Yeah, this is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
She's doing a really good job. Okay, we're gonna bring Julia up. We're gonna go to this table, Julia. This table, you're going to lay on your side and face me. Shoulder here, head here. I'm gonna stretch, straighten this bottom leg, bend the top one. I'm gonna bring you closer to me. I am not gonna drop you on the floor.
Hold on.
So we're gonna adjust this right ilium. You're gonna feel me stretch out like a rubber man. Good, one more. Good job. We're gonna go back to that chair.
Okay.
I'm not very good at basketball.
No, the kids are better at that than you are.
I'm gonna set her shoulders back into backwards because everyone again is round shouldered, so I'm gonna bring her shoulders back. Check her elbow, her wrist.
Again, another favorite of mine.
All wrists and fingers.
When you're on a computer all day, it's a wonderful feeling to get those wrists, elbows, fingers done.
All right. Have you scooch back in the chair, Miss Julia? So we're going to adjust her upper neck. I'm going to put the
Gotta
seat
strap
up.
her into the roller coaster.
This is so she doesn't run away. Now it's to hold her in a chair. So we're adjusting her atlas on the left. It's going to tilt her head to the left. And you're going to relax your shoulder. Nice job.
It felt good.
Isn't it great?
It looks
Yeah, it
much
is.
different than it feels. Like that looked like to you. Like
I know.
I got close,
Okay.
so hopefully
I
they
might
can
have
hear
ripped
the
her head
audio.
off.
Yeah, I was, yeah, watching the videos was definitely worse.
And I feel a difference in her mobility and tension, like from last night to today. I do feel an improvement in her mobility. And as time goes on, you know, her spine's going to change, things are going to change, and we just adapt the adjustment to her body, how her body's shifting and changing now. She gets adjusted. Good job, Julia.
Of course.
She
Anytime.
survived
Well
adjustment
done.
number 2. So, thanks for being a good sport, letting us do this.
Of course.
And
My pleasure.
thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.